a RPR 180 literary practice test. Ready? Here we go. Tom Kreitz is a present-day Johnny Appleseed who has planted 2,000 plumeria trees in and around Savannah, Georgia, hoping to establish the glorious flowers in the town he loves so. It's hard to imagine him jetting across the world during his 49-year career away from home, sometimes 300 nights a year. The retired court reporter and firm owner laughs that he has reported in the back of a pickup in the jungles of Panama, under an oil tanker in dry dock in Caraco, on a train from one side of Holland to the other, on the flight deck of aircraft carriers, on airboats in the Everglades, and on the roadside from Delhi to Agra, of a horrific bus accident with students on their way to see the Taj Mahal. I was blessed with an awesome career, he says simply, but he does not miss the planes and hotels one bit. He forgets the world when he tends the 1,000 plumerias that surround his 1892 house, one of the most photographed homes in Savannah. But the accomplishment he is perhaps most proud of is the family he adopted in Thailand in the depths of poverty, whose members are now not only self-sufficient but true entrepreneurs. After 15 years of hard work by this family, they now take care of themselves and are waiting to take care of me, he says, only half jokingly. He says he may very well give up his precious house and gardens and move to Thailand one day. The Texas native learned about court reporting the way NCRA's leaders hope all young people do, when a court reporting legend put on a program at his high school. When Tyra D. Ellis, a true pioneer for all shorthand reporters nationwide, according to the website of the school she founded, said, "Be a court reporter and make up to $10,000 a year." I was sold, Tom relates. He started 2 months later at her school, the Stenotype Institute of Jacksonville Beach, Florida, and studied for 4 years. He was reporting, however, after 2 years and made $1,300 his first day. That was huge, he remembers, in that I lived on $200 a month while going to school. His career took him to San Francisco and finally in 1972 to Savannah, where he formed Tom Kreitz and Associates International. He met the right maritime attorneys on a ship fire case covering depositions in Savannah, New Orleans, and New York, and was soon traveling all over the world. Many months of my career I would travel 50,000 miles in a month, he says. He has worked in hundreds of cities in more than 50 countries, focusing on maritime and mass disaster litigation, following ships and crew members. At his website, under the case history section, are the tales of two of his most famous environmental disaster cases, the 1978 Amoco Cadiz oil spill off the coast of France and the 2002 Prestige oil spill off the coast of Spain, which was 4 times the size of the Exxon Valdez disaster, he explains. As a matter of fact, after hundreds of depositions were taken in the Exxon Valdez case, I was asked to provide real-time at the deposition of Captain Hazelwood, the American sailor who captained the Exxon Valdez during its 1989 spill. I asked Sue Terry, RPR CRR, NCRA's vice president, to cover me, and for days she performed her magic. But Tom's most enriching experience was his association with a Thai family in the village of Sala in the province of Surin. He met a young man at a restaurant at the hotel where he usually stayed, who spoke English very well, and he became Tom's friend, driver, and interpreter. After 3 years, he invited me to meet his family, Tom remembers. It was shocking to me to see the way they lived. They were the poorest of the poor. The mother was doing her best to provide for her children and grandchildren. She worked 12 to 14 hours a day, tending to the rice of others for $75 a month. They had no running water, and they all were in rags. Tom well remembers his upbringing in a housing project in Texas where people donated food to his family, and he didn't have a new shirt until he was 6 years old. So Tom got to work. He promptly had 2 wells dug and then got the family refrigerators, fans, beds, and linens. He rounded up all 19 family members and headed to a department store 50 miles from Sala. I had each one get a grocery cart, and we loaded up on clothes, shoes, toiletries, towels, and lots of food. I then got them a car and a truck. Next, he helped them to buy parcels of land. On my 60th birthday, we began the planting of 60 acres of rubber trees, he says, and instead of patting himself on the back, says only, I have been blessed to have the family in my life. The family now has more than 100 acres of farmland and a rubber tree plantation. All are on computers and receiving a good education. Tom even put the kids to use in his business. All right, we do have just a few words on our word list. Crites, capital C-R-I-T-E-S. Agra, capital A-G-R-A. Tyra, capital T-H-Y-R-A. Amoco Cadiz, capital A-M-O-C-O. New word, capital C-A-D-I-Z. Thai, capital T-H-A-I. Sala, capital S-A-L-A. Surin, capital S-U-R-I-N. And that will conclude our RPR 180 Literary Practice Test.